Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we have a dragon composition for you guys. So I did put out a composition in the past that was not so friendly because I kind of just chucked in some of those most OP champions in the game into a composition and I said, here you go, have at it, try to copy this composition. No, it was more like a showcase for me to just put out there. At the time I was very short on the time I had to be able to test out in the test server, and I do admit that I didn't really put as much time and effort as I could into building like a proper composition that is more, I guess, relatable for most players out there. But I mean, at the end of the day, if you're trying to build like a really fast speed tune composition that is like really high win rate, super fast, it's not always going to be the easiest composition to build. Now this is going to be a composition that's more I don't want to say, this is still going to be kind of hard to build in a sense where you might require certain champions, you might require certain kind of gear, etc. But the champion that we are going to be talking about today is actually a champion we did get in a, was it like a guaranteed legendary summon, I believe? Yeah. So the one I'm talking about is Stoutest Dragonbane. He was part of a guaranteed legendary summon recently, I believe, like within the past year or so, I think, or within like the past 6 months or something. Now, there are two compositions I'm going to be showing you today, and before I do get into it, I do want to give a huge shout out to my clanmate FUX, who did present the team to us that was a couple days ago, and it was really sick, and I was like, wow, I need to try it out, and I did, and it's 100% win rate team. Well, one of them is, the other one is going to be a 97% win rate team that is a little bit more accessible for people, I guess you could say, well, champion wise. Now, I did do some digging on YouTube, and I did check and see if there was anybody that put out a similar composition ahead of time before anybody else. So I always want to give credit where it's due. I never want to take a composition or any kind of, you know, thing for myself and then present it to you guys and say, here you go, I made it, it was all me. No. I always want to give credit where it's due. So this is a huge shout out to illegalmist. Make sure to check him out, guys. It looks like he started making content about a month ago or so, and he does have a YouTube channel, guys. So make sure to subscribe to him. Make sure to show him lots of love and support. And I'm sure he's got a lot of other great content that is entertaining to you guys, or perhaps some more big brain kind of composition ideas that he might present to you. So yeah, so make sure to check him out, guys. Show him a lot of love and support. And the video that I saw that I noticed that he was actually one of the first people to make this kind of composition. It was actually 2 days ago. Yeah, like 3 days ago. So I don't know if FUX got the idea from him, or maybe my clanmate got it from someone else and then he got it, and I don't know, but perhaps illegalmist is the first one to make this composition, right? So kudos to you, man. Good job. And again, make sure to check him out, guys. Show him a lot of love and support. Now, the composition I'm gonna be showing you today is a little bit different from this one, although it's somewhat similar, but it's not gonna include 2 Stoutest, because we did all get a free Stoutest if you were summoning for the guaranteed legendary for Stoutest back then, like 6 months ago or so. But the other champion I'm gonna be using here is gonna be it is gonna be a free-to-play friendly champion, because it's someone that you can acquire within the game by doing Doom Tower Secret Room, and that is none other than Dark Hill. Now, the way this composition is gonna be working is, so this is stage 10 on Hard Dragon, and it is a good affinity for everybody. So the way this composition is gonna work is, we're gonna be using the Seer Explosion composition, right? The Seer Nuke Wave. Get past the wave 1, we got the Kymar to reset the wave for wave 2 at the beginning, and then we nuke down the wave 2 again. We get to the dragon as soon as possible, and then hopefully with the dragon attack, everybody dies immediately, but I didn't really build it in that way, otherwise it would be a lot faster. But yeah, so we do end up surviving some hits there, and then eventually they all fall down, and it's just a Dark Hill alone with the Stoutest, who pretty much just go head to head with the dragon, and then the dragon just pretty much dies from the poisons. Now, what makes Stoutest incredible here for this run is going to be his passive ability. Whenever an enemy attempts to place a weaken debuff, a decreased defense debuff, or a poison debuff on this champion, reflects them back onto the attacker. And so the dragon is pretty much going to be poisoning himself and then nuking himself in a sense. And the Dark Hill is going to ensure that we have more poisons on top of that, because if you think about it, if we have 2 Stoutest, that's double the amount of poisons that gets added onto the dragon. But for this first composition we're showcasing right now, we're not using a second Stoutest, so we need to compensate by getting more of that poison. And Dark Hill is like a perfect champion to go with, because he does have a lot going on his kit that's just so good for going up against bosses, because he does provide an attack down as well, just in case, even though that doesn't really help much against that one pure damage nuke against the dragon. but he does have an extend here. Each critical hit also has a 100% chance when fully booked of increasing the duration of all debuffs by 1 turn. So that helps a lot. And if this doesn't land, then perhaps it's going to be a 97% win rate team, because there's always a 3% chance your debuffs will not land. So that's just how it is in the game, unless it says it can't be resisted. Not to say this is a debuff, but it could still have a chance to get resisted, right? So that is going to be the case for the Kale here, and he does provide the poisons, the sensitivity, which is incredible. And yeah, he's going to be hitting with a triple hit as well that does a little bit more damage as well with the poison explosion on top of that. So Kale is another great option. So enough of the talk, I do want to show you the run now, because this run is super fast. It's about 26 to 30 seconds. The best run I had with this composition so far was, I think it was 25 to 26 seconds. So let's go ahead and show you right here. All right, so we got the Ghostborn that's never going to weak land the defense down, because unless it's a bad affinity, because his defense down states that it cannot be resisted, so it's always going to be consistent. We got the Seer to strip off all the buffs of everybody to nuke down the waves, and then we are going head to head with the boss once everybody dies with the Stoutist and Dark Hill versus the Dragon right here. So hopefully we get a pretty fast run here, and it looks like it's going to be like 30 seconds or so. Okay, a little bit over 30 seconds, unfortunately. Okay, so 34 seconds. Alright, so this is definitely one of the worst runs we had so far from the testing ahead, but let's go again. But it's super consistent. Once the the dragon, as long as he's just attacking, the Stoutist is going to be staying alive for a while, because he's right now he's built like a tank. He does have regeneration gear on him going, and we do have the Dark Hill and Stone Skin gear, so he can survive some of the hits that's going early on, as you noticed. Okay, so we didn't get the extend. I don't think we landed the extend there. I don't believe so, right? Alright, so these runs are going a little bit slower than expected. 30 seconds there. Alright, so that pretty much is how the team is going to go, and I do want to show you the presets that I have going for these champions. Now, the Stoutist is built pretty slow. He's not going to be taking a turn on the first wave or the second wave, because the Seer and the Ghostborn is going to take care of everything, right? So I don't have him, no presets here, and I don't have any presets for the wave 3 either. And for the Seer, we are going to be opening with prioritizing the Karma Burn, and then for the second wave, prioritizing the Karma Burn again, and then the wave 3 I just left it open. Now for the Kaimar, we're opening with the A1 because we want to reset on the wave 2 at the beginning, because he is going to be their fastest champion. So we're opening with the A3, and then I just have everything open. So for the Ghostborn here, he's going to be always using his A3 anyways here, so I don't have to worry about any presets at all. Now for the Dark Hill, I could probably actually turn this off here. Maybe I should run it back without this to see how it goes, because this does take up some animation. I actually don't need this for the first wave. So I do have the A2 and A3 turned off. I got the A2 and A3 turned off for wave 2. And then for the round 3, we want to be opening with the A3 because we want to land those poison sensitivity and the poisons, which is going to be great. And then once he comes back around, all the poisons will be set up beautifully, and then he can extend it with his A2. Now, I do want to run it back one more time here, just because I don't think we got the fastest we could with the Kale with that A2 that he had going, or the A3 rather. Okay, so that animation is a little faster, so maybe we'll get a little bit of a quicker run than we did earlier. Okay, I'm not really sure what happened there, but we didn't get to use our poison there at all, right? Hold on, I think I might have had the wrong preset or something. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let me look at that again, because that was very shaky. What happened there? Why didn't Dark Hill use his abilities? Okay, that was open. He should have started with this, but I don't think he did. Oh, it might have been 3%. Yeah, I think he missed it, right? So that was really unfortunate. So yeah, I mean, if that doesn't land, it's gonna be really, really shaky, I think. So let's run it back one more time just in case. Because I didn't see any point sensitivity or extra poisons from his part. Okay. Alright, there we go. Now we got the poisons rolling. And now we want to get that extend going. Beautiful. We got the extend, the attack down. and then we're just rolling. Another poison sensitivity and the poison's there, beautiful. And yeah, this should be the run. Boom. So pretty consistent, right? Again, it's not going to be 100% win rate, especially with the dark kill here, because his if the extend doesn't go through, it's going to be a little bit shaky, right? And it might be really close, but it's possible it could fail also. But that would be like a 97% win rate for this team, I would say, only because, at the very minimum, only because the dark kill, if the extend doesn't go through, because there's always a 3% chance your debuff's going to miss unless it says can't be resisted. So that's going to be the case there. So before I show you the final perfect team for this kind of composition with the Stoutus here, that's going to be 100% win rate on a very, very fast time, I want to show you the gear that I have on them right now. So the gear that I have on these champions is going to be, starting with the Ghostborn. I have the shield set on him. I also use him in other parts of the dungeons for speedruns, so this is the way I haven't built it. I don't really have to touch him at all. At 247 speed, he does some damage here, but again, I use him mainly for Fire Knight 25, and that's why I haven't built this way. But yeah, he does not need the accuracy at all. The resistance doesn't matter. Ideally, if I could, I would have him a lot less HP, so he can just die on the first hit, and then the run will go a lot faster. But the speed is all I really focus on here, 247. And he is fully booked out because I do want this at 100%, right? To make sure that we can actually place the defense down, but it can't be resisted. So that's a good thing. And for the masters here, I do have him with the War Master. A bit of extra damage never hurts. And for the next champion, we have Stoutus. Now, Stoutus is built very, very tanky. We do have him built in a regeneration set along with the Immortal set. And he is built close to 100k HP, right? Pretty around 3800 defense. If you can get more defense, that would be fantastic. I am running him at 152 speed, and the accuracy is not needed to use his passive ability, which is what reflects the damage, reflects the poisons and the weaken, right? But the only reason why I have him that high is because I do have Brimstone on him for the blessing, and if I want to be able to place this blessing, I need the accuracy, because this got changed and you do need accuracy to land these now. So that's the only reason why I have his accuracy that high. And also, you don't actually need 405. That's a bit overkill. 340-ish is what you need to be able to consistently land debuffs. So that is what I would aim for if you do want to use other champions that want to place debuffs, or if you are trying to use blessings on a champion to place those brimstone, or the meteor, whatever, the comet, whatever it's called. Yeah, so pretty tanky, 152 speed. And then for the skills, I do have them fully picked out as well, just for, I guess, like the extra damage that never hurts, right? So I guess you technically don't need him booked, actually. Yeah, honestly, I don't think you need him booked. So you can actually go without him booked, but this is the passive that I'm using right here for him. Built a lot of protection going on, right? And we do have him going a little bit faster just in case we can roll back around to our turn and we can get the regeneration rolling to heal up. I did test him a lot slower at 99 speed to see if I can get the run faster. It's actually very, very similar. But the thing is, this one ends up dying because he's not getting enough turns in, because he's not built fast enough to lap the boss and always going really slower against the boss. Now, that does work out with another Stoutus, but if you want him to be able to stay alive and solo the boss, you want him to make sure he can get some turn in. And this is the build that I went with. Alright, so for the next champion here we have is Prince Kymar. Now, you do not need to have him in immunity set. I don't think so. I had him built this way because I also use him again for Fire Knight, and that's pretty much why I have him built in this kind of setup with pretty close to crit cap, but not really. But he does have pretty low HP. If I can get him lower HP for this run, I would. And the accuracy here is not needed at all. The only thing you need to focus on is the speed. Just make sure he goes faster than the rest of the team, and that's pretty much it, because you want to be able to reset on the wave 2 before the seer goes. So if anything, he's a little too fast. And for the masteries, honestly, it doesn't matter too much, but if you can get masteries, War Master is always really great to proc those extra damage against the boss, right? Or any champion for that matter. And then I do have him fully booked out as well, but this isn't really relevant at all. And for the seer here, we do have her built in Savage set and the crit damage set. Now, she is built pretty strong here at 106% crit rate, over 350% crit damage. but I don't know what the minimum you would need here for crit damage, and I guess that's something I should have tested, but that is what I'm using at the moment. It's the same setup that I use for Fire Knight. I'm literally taking champions I used from Fire Knight 25 and just sticking them into this composition here, and all I did was add the Stultus and the Dark Heal, and that's pretty much it. So she is at 199 speed and pretty healthy here. Again, if I can get her a little bit lower HP for this run, I would, so she can get one-shotted by the boss in the beginning. And she is fully booked out as well with the Crushing Rend. And for the Mastery here, we are going down to the Flawless Execution. Now, I would probably go with the War Master if I guess if I wanted to rebuild her, because War Master is really great against bosses to proc those extra damage, but extra crit damage never hurts either, so that's what we're sticking with, just to make sure we can get down those waves. And for the last champion here we have is the Dark Kale. Now, Dark Kale is built in Stone Skin. Now, this is a set that's not going to be as easily accessible, but make sure to do your Hydra bosses, guys, okay? Even if you throw in random champions to beat normal, you can still get Hydra boss items. As you can see here, I'm using 2 rare pieces, but the stats you're going to be needing is 100% crit rate and at least 340 accuracy to make sure you can land those debuffs. And we do want him, if we can get him faster, that would be more ideal, but I just kind of kept him at 218 without glyphing anything. Everything is pretty much vanilla default. I didn't really glyph any speeds into this guy, but we are crit cap because we want to be able to make sure we can extend on the A2, because we want to make sure we have crit hit on it, right? So if we're not crit hitting, we don't have a 100% chance of increasing the duration. So that is why you do want to make sure he has crit cap, and that's pretty much it here. That's all I really focus on. He is fully booked out, again with Crushing Rend as the Blessing, I think the same as the Seer. And for the Masteries, we have him going down to the War Master once again. So that is a composition, guys, for the first team I'm going to show you. Now for the second team I'm going to show you is going to be 100% win rate, and amazing composition, really great. And yeah, so here we go. This composition is 100% win rate, really fast, and this is what I'm going to be running every time I do these dungeons. And that is going to be a second Stultus added in. 2 Stultus is so sick against this boss because the boss is just reflecting the poisons onto himself, and he's just shredding himself. So here we go. Now, the second Stultus is built very similarly to the Kale, except I have this one built with really high HP and going super slow. Pretty much never, I don't want him to take a turn. He's just sitting there to tank, take a hit, help reflect the poisons onto the boss. That's it. That's his only job here. His only purpose. The one thing I also want to mention is you don't want to build your champions with resistance, because these 2 champions, if they have resistance, then they're not going to be able to reflect the poisons back onto the boss, because if you're resisting the poisons, then the poisons are not even coming in, so there's nothing to deflect. Does that make sense? So try to build your Stultus with as low resistance as you can, even if you're running 1. But if you're running 2 as well, whichever, just build the Stultus with low resistance, and the boss will be able to reflect the damage back onto himself, or the poisons rather. So let's run it back one more time. This team is just so fun to watch. It really does remind me of Yumiko against Bommel, because Yumiko also deflects the bombs back onto the boss. That's another composition that I did do a video on if you guys want to check it out, but it's a really fun composition. But it's just so satisfying to see this. The boss just shredding himself. Look at that. Look at all those poisons just stack on himself, guys. Yeah, so really consistent team. Let's run it back again. This is so fun to watch. 25 seconds is the best that I've gotten with this team, as you saw earlier. But hopefully, well, I think I'm just gonna stick around here. Like, I could take some gear off of them, make them see right here. If they all died, they're not taking a turn. That's a little bit extra seconds taken off the clock, and the boss will die a lot faster, right? So I think if there was less HP on those guys, I could get it down to like 23 seconds, right? I think so. So that's pretty much the composition, guys. I'm going to show you this second Stultus, how I've been built too, just in case you want to see. All right, so for the way I have this set up, I don't know why I have these. I don't even know why I touched these at all. Yeah, I mean, I think I actually lost some seconds because of this. Yeah, so let me just go ahead and take this off and run it back one more time if I can see another better second team I can get. This doesn't matter, guys. He's not taking a turn on the first wave or the second wave, so you could just leave this all open. I think it's because I was testing around with it to see what works and what doesn't work, and I guess this was like my first run through for this composition. So let me go ahead and just change all this real quick because this doesn't matter. And okay, we're good. So yeah, you could just leave this all open as is. It doesn't matter because he's not taking a turn on wave 1 and wave 2. But the Seer, we are going to be opening with the Kymar. And for the second wave, we are going to be, I could probably just priority this. And for the second wave here, she's also going to be prioritizing the Karma Burn. And then the wave 3, it doesn't matter. For the Kymar, we're going to be opening with the A1. We do not want to use the A3 at all here, and he's not going to use it, doesn't matter. But just in case, and then for the wave 2, he's going to be using his the reset so that the Seer can get back the Karma Burn, and then the wave 3, it doesn't matter. And then Ghostborn here, honestly, I could just leave this all open. I don't even know I mess with this, because he's going to be using the defense down always anyways. So let's just go ahead and leave that all open. So, okay, it looks a lot cleaner, right? So Staltis is, nothing is touched. Seer is just prioritizing the A1 and A1 on the wave 1 and wave 2. And then the Kymar is just opening with the A1 on the wave 1, and that's it. Nothing else matters. Okay, try it again. Hopefully we can get a better time with the Staltis's presets changed now, because I think the wave A1 might take up a bit more seconds, right? I'm blanking out a little bit. I think so, because that should take up less animation, right? Yeah, because he's not gonna go out there and attack as much. Okay, maybe it's the same thing, whatever. So very similar there, as you can see. So there you have it, guys. That is going to be the team I'm gonna be using for this composition. Now I did try to test around with some more friendly compositions out there that were pretty quick, I guess, but they're not consistent enough, guys. Okay, if you want a fast team that's under 40 seconds, you can't really, we have to be realistic, right? You can't expect to be a 40-second and try to do what is considered to be like an endgame content or whatever you want to call it, and have like a super high win rate team. We're not really being real with ourselves, right? So there are some teams that I am playtesting around with that are a little bit slower, beyond like a minute or so, but I think they are a bit more friendly and more relatable in a sense. But this is going to be the next step down from what I originally showed you. That was a super endgame, not even, I shouldn't even put it out there unless, like, I guess for the entertaining purpose wise. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate you all for the love and support throughout the past 2 years I've been making content, and I hope this video does help you out. I hope this video does give you some ideas and some ways you can try to I think a lot of you do have a Staltis, so I think you can make something work, or maybe not as fast as this, but yeah, I don't know. Just we can all use our imagination, we can all be creative and make something more cool. As more time passes, there will be more compositions that get added or ideas that get shown around, that goes around the community. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy this video. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. If you guys enjoy my content, please make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll see you all in the next video.